What's going on, everyone? Coming at you with another update here. We've had the crypto market be quite volatile. We've had a huge bounce yesterday and today, and it's come into all of our zones. So let's go over everything that we see and find out where we stand. So here we are again, total crypto market cap here. We had our zone drawn up here for the longest time. As you can see, it's perfectly filled the entire imbalance. We've had a bounce. If we go down lower time frame, on the 4 hour, 1 hour here, you see that we did put in a low, had a fairly nice impulsive move out of it, and then came back and created what a lot of people know as a double bottom. But if we are to go down on a lower time frame here, oh, we can't see it on that. Okay, no replay feature. But if you go down to the 5 minute, it does make a lower low, which again I've gone over in the last video, is important. It does mean something here. That does mean there's liquidations here, in which case it's more likely to move up. As you can see, huge impulsive move after that and doesn't exactly come back to the entry, which is fine. So that's great. We are at a point here where we've filled this imbalance here quite strongly, and it looks like we are reacting strongly bullish out of it. So that's a positive here. I definitely think that we're definitely getting a little bit higher up here. Like, this is definitely in the near term a target that we're going to have here. So that's a good thing here. If we look at USDT dominance here, we do see that even though it went a little bit higher than the zone, we are reacting quite positively here in terms of the way that we're coming down here. We're not out of the woods on this one yet. This is interesting. Same as Bitcoin here, right? We are creating an area where we could have a little bit of a pullback in this sense, but I would have also preferred to see this high liquidated here by this if we were going to go lower. This does lead me to believe that there is possibility for it to come back, sweep that before going lower. But nonetheless, it is putting in a really good sign overall for the crypto market going up. Like I said, I do not by any stretch of the imagination think that this is done. Right? If we look at Bitcoin dominance as well, this thing continues to fall, right? And we just look here, we see fair value gap there. Let's see on the 4 hour, we haven't had a high resistance liquidity run here at all. So that is a very optimal target right here, to be going after. And hopefully we'd like to see close through with bearish candles like this instead of just, a liquidation there and then like that. That wouldn't be as ideal, because then we could be coming back higher than this level, and we'll monitor that when it comes, but when and if it comes. But so far so good. We're looking good. Others, we've seen the bounce perfectly off this zone, which we drew up ahead of time on the daily time frame. Perfect bounce there. Same thing. We've had a very good high resistance liquidity run here, as you can see there. And it immediately rebalances, and then that high resistance liquidity run actually holds when we have the harsh pullback here, and it continues up higher. So at the very minimum right now, I'm seeing this target here as where we're going, and hopefully we can close through, test it, and move higher. We have if we look at Bitcoin here, this is the one thing that I don't love right now, if I'm being honest. Doesn't mean that we can't continue to move up from here, but in a perfect world, I would have preferred to see this low get swept. There's a lot of liquidity under that low. Again, like we've talked about, if people are buying in here, where's their stop loss? Right under here. So on the pullback, I would have preferred to see that low liquidated. If that low would have happened, I would be sitting here right now saying, I think the bottom's in on everything, and we're going all-time highs. This line here, right here, is the end of the weekly imbalance, weekly fair value gap right there. So, I do think it's still possible and it would happen around this area probably, where it continues lower and goes through that liquidation and into this zone and goes higher. Now, the interesting thing is Ethereum recovered quite a bit better than Bitcoin did, as you can see, as you saw in the Bitcoin dominance, where Ethereum completely filled the weekly imbalance here. The daily imbalance, sorry, that we drew out last time, right? I have this here because I actually took a trade on Ethereum yesterday. I entered on the 15-second, so after this liquidation. So right now, my trade, if it plays out, would be 1 to 67. But obviously we're not quite out of the woods yet. But the 1 to 67 would be back to all-time highs up here. So but I do think that there is a chance that Ethereum's put in the bottom. If not, it's very, very, very close. But I'm letting this one run. It's all-time high or nothing for me. I'm at break even, so I can't lose any money. I could theoretically move my stop up there, but for now I'm break even. We'll see how it goes. Polkadot here. Let's see. We had the daily time frame that we had drawn up. We had the zone there, as you can see, has a perfect reaction out of there. If you're to go down onto a lower time frame, you can see the absolutely optimal entry right here would just be just below here on the fair value gap. So it'll be right there, stop below the low. And if we're going to get out of this mess, it is going to be a fairly aggressive target. So that'd be a 1 to 22, but as you can see, we're not necessarily trying to trade this here. This is more of a crypto investing channel. If you'd like, we could go over more trades for sure, entries and things like that. But it's in our zone. The entry is there. It's playing out perfectly. Your stop would be a break even right now, so there's no risk if you're involved in this here. One thing that is interesting, if you look at IWM here, the Russell shares, it dipped. Everything in the stock market went pretty low at market open, but IWM is holding up better than the NASDAQ, which is very interesting here, because as I pointed out before, we've never in the history had a bear market when IWM, the Russell 2000, is not at an all-time high. So the fact that this is holding up better and the Bitcoin dominance continues to fall and others and ETH are outperforming Bitcoin at this time, it does, again, give me confidence that there is a chance that, this is going up to all-time highs. And if that happens, it's more likely that the bull run continues, as I think will happen for crypto, and we'll get this blow off top. And, Bitcoin goes up, who knows? I mean, guessing that's anyone's guess, but 140, 160,000, maybe 180 if we're lucky. Like I said, 200 grand, I really don't think so. I mean, crazier things have happened, but I don't see it, right? So yeah, that's where we're at right now with the crypto market. We'll see how tonight goes, because after a huge day like that, let's see if we get a sharp retrace or a little bit of a shallow retrace and then continue higher, or if we just continue to push higher as we go right now. You can see there is a bit of movement on Bitcoin and Ethereum on the lower time frames, but nothing out of the ordinary. There's not as much liquidity happening right now. The real liquidity happens towards the London Open and then the New York Open when that happens. So again, we'll revisit this again tomorrow and see where we're at. As of right now, you can see we have had some good reactions in our coins that we're looking at. Ethereum is a very good chance for sure that we're putting in an all-time high here. I mean, time will tell, but we're looking good right now. Leave a like if you want me to continue doing these updates for you, and comment if you want me to go over some entries on super low time frames, like my Ethereum entry on the 15-second here. Let me know if you want me to go over that, because I have specific rules for this. I've honestly never seen anyone trade kind of like this before. And what I really like about this is you move your stop to break even right away. Like I was broken even within probably a minute of entering the trade. So there's no risk. And I just, as soon as I entered it, put my stop at break even, took my dog for a walk, came back, and I'm like, oh, well, this is playing out quite nicely. And, again, who knows? This could reverse. It could come back, but I'm liking it so far. The one thing that is interesting is if Ethereum continues to outperform Bitcoin here and goes higher, even if Bitcoin does have that drop to liquidate this level, from here I think it's about 4%, something like that. Well, 2% to liquidate it, 3.5%, 4% to get down there. Even if that happens, it doesn't mean that Ethereum puts in a new low. So that is the one thing that's nice. Ethereum could have bottomed even if Bitcoin hasn't, and Bitcoin still could bottom. So you never know. Anyway, leave a like, comment if you want me to go over anything, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.